Hello, my wonderful story lovers, and welcome back to our enchanted corner of the internet. Today, we're diving into a tale that has been whispered through generations, a story about curiosity, cozy cottages, and a very important lesson. Get comfortable, because we're about to journey into the woods with a little girl known for her beautiful, shimmering hair, Goldilocks. Deep in a sun-dappled forest, where the birds sang melodies and the squirrels chattered secrets, lived a bright and adventurous little girl. Her hair was the color of spun gold, which is how she earned her name, Goldilocks. She loved nothing more than exploring the winding paths that snaked through the tall trees near her home. Every rustle of leaves was a new mystery, every strange flower a new discovery. She was full of wonder, a little explorer with an insatiable curiosity. One beautiful morning, the sunbeams seemed to beckon her further than she'd ever gone before. The usual paths felt too familiar, and the call of the unknown was too strong to resist. Deeper and deeper into the woods she ventured, past ancient oaks and whispering pines, until she stumbled upon a clearing she had never seen. And there, nestled amongst the trees, was the most charming little cottage imaginable. It had a thatched roof, a sturdy wooden door, and smoke curling playfully from its chimney. Who could possibly live here? She wondered aloud. Her heart thumped with excitement. This was a real adventure, brimming with curiosity. Goldilocks tiptoed up to the front door. She knocked politely, once, then twice. "Hello? Is anyone home?" she called out, her voice a small sound in the quiet forest. Silence was her only reply. A braver, or perhaps just a more curious, part of her took over. She noticed the door was slightly ajar. With a gentle push, it swung open, revealing a warm and inviting room inside. She hesitated for only a moment before stepping over the threshold, her adventurous spirit winning out over her caution. The first thing she saw was a rustic wooden table set for three. On the table were 3 bowls of steaming porridge. The wonderful, oaty smell filled the air, and Goldilocks suddenly realized how hungry her morning walk had made her. The first bowl was a great, big one. She dipped a spoon in, but quickly pulled it back. "Ouch! This porridge is far too hot," she exclaimed. She moved to the second bowl, a medium-sized one. She took a tentative taste. "Brr, this porridge is much too cold." She shivered. Finally, she approached the third bowl, a tiny, little one. She dipped her spoon in and smiled. "Ah, this porridge is just right." And because it was so delicious and she was so hungry, she ate it all up, every last spoonful. With her tummy full and warm, Goldilocks felt content and decided to explore the rest of the cozy little cottage. Next, her eyes fell upon 3 chairs arranged near the fireplace. There was a great, big chair, a medium-sized chair, and a teeny-tiny little chair. Always wanted to try things out. She climbed into the great, big chair. "Oh, this chair is far too hard," she grumbled, hopping down. She then tried the medium-sized chair. "This chair is much too soft," she sighed, sinking deep into its cushions. Finally, she turned her attention to the teeny-tiny little chair. She sat down carefully. "Ah, this chair is just right," she declared with a giggle. But as she settled in to relax, there was a sudden crack. The little chair broke into pieces, sending a startled Goldilocks tumbling onto the floor. "Oh dear," she whispered, looking at the broken pieces. A little bit of worry started to creep into her adventurous heart. Feeling a bit tired from her walk, her big meal, and her unfortunate tumble, Goldilocks thought a short rest might be a good idea. she spotted a staircase and, still guided by her relentless curiosity, she climbed it. At the top, she found a bedroom with 3 beds. Just like everything else, there was a great, big bed, a medium-sized bed, and a teeny-tiny little bed. She flopped onto the great, big bed first. "This bed is much too hard," she complained, feeling like she was lying on a plank of wood. She then tried the medium-sized bed. "This bed is way too soft," she said, sinking so deep she could barely see over the covers. Finally, she tiptoed over to the teeny-tiny little bed. She lay down gently. "Ah," she sighed happily. "This bed is just right." It was so cozy and comfortable that before she knew it, her eyes grew heavy, and she drifted off into a peaceful sleep, dreaming of forest adventures. Now, this charming cottage wasn't empty. It was the home of a family of 3 bears. A great, big Papa Bear, a medium-sized Mama Bear, and a small, wee Baby Bear. They had gone for a walk in the woods while their porridge cooled. As they returned home, Papa Bear, with his big, gruff voice, was the first to notice something was amiss. "Someone's been eating my porridge," he growled, looking at the spoon in his bowl. Mama Bear, in her gentle, medium-sized voice, looked at her bowl and said, "And someone's been eating my porridge, too." Then, little Baby Bear looked at his empty bowl and cried in his small, wee voice, "Someone's been eating my porridge and has eaten it all up." The 3 bears looked at each other, puzzled and a little concerned. They then moved to the living area. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," roared Papa Bear, seeing his cushion was out of place. "And someone's been sitting in my chair," sighed Mama Bear, fluffing her pillow. Then Baby Bear looked at the pile of splintered wood on the floor and wailed, "Someone's been sitting in my chair, and they've broken it all to pieces." Now very worried, the 3 bears tiptoed upstairs to their bedroom. Papa Bear looked at his neatly made bed. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," he growled, seeing the covers were rumpled. "And someone's been sleeping in my bed," sighed Mama Bear, noticing a small headprint on her pillow. Then Baby Bear went to his teeny-tiny little bed. In his small, squeaky voice, he cried out, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and here she is." At that moment, Goldilocks' eyes fluttered open. She wasn't dreaming anymore. Standing over her were 3 bears, a big one, a medium-sized one, and a small one, all staring right at her. For a split second, everyone was frozen. Then Goldilocks let out a yelp of pure terror. She didn't wait to explain or apologize. She sprang out of the little bed, scrambled past the 3 startled bears, flew down the stairs, and burst out the front door. She didn't stop running until she was safely back in her own home, her heart pounding like a drum. Goldilocks was safe, but she never forgot the fright she got that day. More importantly, she never forgot the lesson she learned. She realized that her curiosity, while a wonderful thing, had led her to be disrespectful. She had entered a home that wasn't hers, used things that didn't belong to her, and even broken them, all without asking. From that day forward, whenever Goldilocks felt the pull of adventure, she remembered the 3 bears. She learned to temper her curiosity with respect and to think about the consequences of her actions. And that's the heart of this timeless story. It's wonderful to be curious and to want to explore the world. That's how we learn and grow. But it's even more important to be respectful of other people's property, their homes, and their feelings. Always remember to ask for permission and to treat others' belongings with the same care you'd want for your own. Curiosity is a great gift, but responsibility and respect are the true treasures. Thank you so much for joining me on this classic adventure today. I hope you enjoyed our trip into the woods. What's your favorite part of the Goldilocks story? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love tales that teach us valuable lessons, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more storytime magic. Until next time, keep reading and stay curious and respectful. Bye for now.